Hello viewers, this is Not Too Fast here. In today's video, I'll be changing out the spark plug on this 2016 Hyundai Elantra. Now the spark plug that's in the vehicle has an iridium tip, and this type of spark plug is good up to 100,000 miles. Now the mileage on this vehicle is currently 135,000 miles, and as some of you know, I bought this vehicle used, and the spark plugs have never been changed, so it's definitely long overdue. In this video, I'll show you how to remove the old spark plug and how to properly install the new spark plugs. Now the information I show you can be applied to many other vehicles. So let's get started. To get access to the spark plugs, open your hood and go ahead and remove this engine cover. Look at the bottom of the cover. You see there are 4 holes right here. And these 4 holes snap onto these 4 pegs that you see right here. With the engine cover off, you'll see the 4 ignition coils right here. I'll need to first remove these coils and then get access to the spark plugs underneath. You want to make sure this area is clean. If you have access to a compressor, you can use the compressed air to blow all the debris out. Or you can also use a vacuum cleaner and vacuum this area. Now we can disconnect the wiring harness to the ignition coil. Now you'll notice on each of the plug there's a gray tab right here. What you want to do is carefully pry this out. Now these tabs can break easily, especially when the car is older, so be very careful. Once the tab is out, you can push this black tab right here and pull the connector off. Do the same thing with the other one. Just move the wiring harness aside. To remove the ignition coil, you first need to remove the 10mm bolt holding each one down. Now you lift up the ignition coil, set it aside. Now the spark plugs are inside each of these holes. Now before you remove the spark plug, make sure the engine is not super hot. Let it cool down first. It will make removal a lot easier. The socket I'll be using to remove the spark plug is a 5/8 inch spark plug socket. And I attach it to a long extension that you see right here. Now I tape the socket to the extension so the 2 sections don't separate when I'm removing the spark plug. Put the socket right to the bottom and then carefully loosen the spark plug. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. And this is the last one. Here's a look at all 4 of these spark plugs. Again, these are the original plugs that came with the vehicle. Now this spark plug is the NGK SILZKR7B11. Now while you have the ignition coil out, make sure it's not coated with oil. If you do see oil on it, that means the spark plug tube seal on the valve cover is leaking. And it's something you do want to fix if you see oil, because you don't want that whole spark plug tube to be filled with oil. And here are the 4 brand new spark plugs. These are made by NGK, and the model number is same as the one that came out of the car, SILZKR 7B11, stock number 9723. And here's a look at the new spark plug. Now if you look at the tip of this spark plug, there's a small gap between the top electrode and the center conductor. Now typically these are pre-gapped at the factory, but you may want to still check it to make sure the gap is correct. Using a spark plug gap tool like this, you can check how big the gap is. Now be very careful when you're using a tool like this because you don't want to damage the center tip of the spark plug. Now for this vehicle, the gap should be 1 to 1.1 millimeter. To use this tool, slide the thinnest part of the tool between the gap and then just slowly bring it up until it stops. And it stops right now at 1.1 exactly. So the gap on this is correct. Go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other spark plugs. Now with this one I'm checking, the gap is a little big. It's at 1.2. So to reduce this gap, what you can do is find a solid surface and just give it a light tap, a few light taps, and bring the gap down to where you need it. Now one thing I want to point out is some people believe you should put anti-seize on the thread. Do not do that. Even according to NGK, they tell you not to do that because when you put anti-seize on the thread and you tighten this down, you're going to end up over torquing it. If you have a torque wrench, the torque spec on this new spark plug is 14.7 to 24.5 Newton meters or 10.8 to 18 foot-pounds. Carefully put the spark plug into the hole and just slowly thread the spark plug in. So here I have a torque wrench. It's set to 17.5 Newton meter or about 13 foot-pounds. Now if you don't have a torque wrench, let me show you how to install the spark plug with a regular ratchet. What you want to do is hand tighten the spark plug until it makes contact to the bottom. Then using your ratchet, tighten the spark plug another 180 to 240 degrees or tighten it 3/4 turns. Now reinstall the ignition coil. Reinstall 10mm bolts. Reconnect the connectors and just push that gray tab back in. You can reinstall the engine cover. Now you can start the engine up, make sure everything runs well. So if you're thinking about replacing the spark plug on your Hyundai Elantra, I hope you found this video to be helpful. With some basic hand tools, you can do this service yourself. Now remember, these spark plugs don't need to be changed until you get to around 100,000 miles. For a list of parts and tools used in this video, check out the links below. If you have any questions or comments, leave one in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.